Hey everybody, how's it going? My name's Adam Reaples Box, and welcome back to another Halo 5 match. This is Free For All Slayer on Eden, and this is actually my third match of Halo Arena multiplayer. I had the wrong match chosen as my previous video, but that match still did well for the points I was trying to convey. So this is the one where I got an overkill and totally kicked ass on Free For All, although not as much as I did on the team-based games. On my first few matches, which were in team-based games, I absolutely just wrecked FaZe. This is my first match in free-for-all, and I actually had some competition for the lead for once. So, frankly, this is a better match because me just pub stomping is not honestly that great of a gameplay. But I wanted to give, based on my first 5 or 6 matches, what I believe to be the important things to consider in terms of tips for Halo 5. One is going to be map awareness. You are going to be able to see people on the map that aren't going to show up on your radar. Your radar is a lot tighter, I feel, than you may expect in terms of detecting where people are. And so there are going to be people around you that you're going to be able to find and see, and that are going to be able to find and see you that aren't necessarily going to be red dots on your radar. And as far as I can tell, this is just a distance thing. Sometimes it feels like it's pretty buggy, like I just shot somebody in a corridor like 5 feet in front of me and they weren't on my radar. But that may just be intentional as well. So map awareness is extremely key. Secondly, as that death just portrayed, shield recharge rate and your status of your shield is extremely important to pay attention to. Shield recharge rate feels a lot slower than previous Halo games. It feels like it takes a lot longer to actually get your shields back up and going. And maybe not the overall recharge, but the time it takes to go from having them popped to actually having them start recharging can take quite a while. And I just lost the rocket launcher because of that. It feels a lot different than normal Halo games, and I've made a lot of mistakes regarding running into engagements where I shouldn't have, simply because I thought my shields would be ready. And I've noticed that be a lot of a consistent issue of people that I've killed as well. Thirdly is power weapons placements. Obviously, that's something you should consider with every game and every Halo game and things like that, but we are back to a system of power weapons on the map, which I absolutely love. But I've noticed, obviously the game just came out, so everybody's still learning it and things like that. But in my first few matches where I've just been dominating, I've noticed that people haven't been paying attention to the power weapon spawns. Now, this isn't the greatest match in the world to convey that point. My previous match was, actually, there's another match coming up that I'll make a video on that was much better at conveying this, because people are actually going for the power weapons on this one. But a lot of the matches I played, people weren't going for the power weapons. It has icons on the map to tell you where they are, and it announces when they respawn, which I don't entirely agree with. I think that makes things way too easy, and just, I don't know. I liked memorizing the respawn times and things like that, and that's how it is in a lot of games. But they now just announce it, like they shove it in your face. Hey, there's power weapons over here, come get it. Go try to get them from time to time. Now, don't cause yourself a bunch of deaths like I sometimes do trying to go get them, but try to go get them. Try to use them for your team, because they can be very beneficial for your team. Now, the plasma caster, not something you want to worry about so much, at least so far for me. It's not been something I've seen as being that useful. I can't use it worth a crap, at least. I don't know. I don't like it, but the sniper and the rocket launcher can be huge for your team. And so, make sure you're paying attention to power weapon spawns and go pick them up. Next up is your overall movement abilities. You have Spartan abilities. You have the ground pound. You potentially have Spartan thrust. I haven't actually tried that in multiplayer yet. The shoulder charge. You have sprint. You have thruster packs. Use them. I didn't honestly realize that we had quite the plethora of abilities that we did until I played the campaign a little bit, and it introduced you to the new mechanics. And so if you don't know what the new mechanics are, go play the campaign and learn them, and then come back and use them in the multiplayer. It will make you a lot better of a moving player. It makes things so much easier to actually, thrust around and sprint and use all that. But remember, as with like Call of Duty and just about any shooter, don't sprint too much. If you sprint too much, you're going to get caught with your pants down because you're sprinting, and you're going to get killed while you're sprinting. Gun speed, like fire rates and weapon pull-up times and all that, is way more differently tuned than previous Halo games. Your certain guns shoot a lot slower, such as the scatter shot, the sniper rifle, and the pistol, I know for sure, shoot a lot slower. So you're going to want to have patience and actually go for headshots with some of these weapons. Now, the shotgun, it's just a matter of getting a really solid chest shot with it. But things like the pistol, you can definitely still gun someone down fairly quickly with the pistol if you're going for headshots. But it shoots so slow that if you're missing shots, you're actually punished quite a bit for it. So you're definitely gonna want to pay attention to where you're shooting and have patience with it. Don't just spam the trigger. At the same time, with something like the assault rifle or the SMG, absolutely spam it, but you got to compensate for the recoil. So keep that in mind as well. Grenades. Keep an eye out for grenades. You want to pick them up when possible, and you want to avoid getting exploded by them, obviously. I haven't, honestly, which has been an issue since they were introduced, but the Forerunner grenades don't seem to do all that much. Just don't be right next to them when they go off, but don't rely on them to really kill anyone either, at least from my impression so far. Sticky grenades, obviously go for the sticks and try to avoid getting stuck. Frag grenades, you want to bounce up right in your opponent's face, which is absolutely doable and something you want to try your best to do. It's don't just spam a grenade past your opponent, which is what a lot of people do, is opponents running towards them or something, and I'll do it too. Like I say a lot of people, you'll probably see me do it in a couple of my gameplays. But don't just throw it past them, because that's going to go behind them, and it's not going to kill them. You want it to essentially land right in front of them, no matter when or where you're throwing it. So bounce it up in their face, drop it at your feet as you're running around a corner, something like that, to where it's right under them or right in front of them. Also, since every match I've played so far has been assault rifle starts, AR starts, you're going to want to pay attention to what weapons are on the map. I have found so far great luck if you pick up, oh, here's the sick overkill. Triple kill, pew, pew, pew. I don't know if I'm going to make it melee, and overkill. That was quite rewarding, even though I died right after. That was quite rewarding. But you start out with very basic weapon loadouts, so you're going to want to pay attention to what weapons are on the map around you, and they're not super easy to identify. And so you're going to want to pick up the battle rifles. The Covenant Carbine is actually extremely awesome to use in this game. I've had a lot of luck with that weapon. Anything really, like even the Storm Rifle can prove better than using the vanilla assault rifle. And so definitely pay attention to what weapons are on the map around you, learn when they're there, and start picking them up and using them when you can over your normal weapons. And everybody else still using normal weapons, you're going to have a lot better of a time dealing with them. This has been my first free-for-all match here in Halo Arena Slayer. It was like my third or fourth overall match. And I just wanted to give, based on my first impressions of the multiplayer, based on 10, 15 years of experience with Halo and shooters in general, these are the tips that I think you need to keep in mind running in at the start of Halo 5. I also once again wanted to mention that my buddy Falcon put up a Black Ops 3 song that he put together, and it is killer. He gave me a preview last night, I donated some gameplay for the video, and it rocks. So go check out that link in the description below as well. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to smash that like button. I'll see you next time.